Well, here's something a little bit different. This week I've got a pickup truck, and it's not a regular old pickup truck. This is the refreshed 2018 Ford F-150 in limited edition spec, which is the top of the F-150 range. Now, the F-150 continues to be one of the most popular vehicles in North America, has been a bestseller for literally decades. And for 2018, Ford has decided to sweeten the deal with a couple of nice exterior and interior tweaks. So today we're going to go for a ride. We'll talk about all of those changes to better understand why this continues to be such a popular vehicle with Canadians. Well, the first thing you notice upon getting into this F-150 is that this particular model is equipped with electric running boards, and they pop down as soon as you open the front door. So that's really handy to help you jump up into this thing. And once you do get in here, first of all, it's huge, it's very spacious, it's very wide. There is a ton of room for big and tall drivers. Now, in terms of design, you don't for a moment forget that you're in a truck. It's very masculine, very angular. Everything is square and chunky and oversized, including the shift lever, which is absolutely ginormous. But you know what? That's great because you can use it no problem if you're wearing big, thick gloves. Same can be said for your climate control knobs here, down your volume and your tuning knobs. A couple of small issues for me, the first being the fact that there's quite a lot of hard plastic, especially on this center console. I will say that on this limited edition, Ford has used a nice navy leather with a contrast stitch, and there's a different mix of plastic materials here, but I'm just not a big fan of this black, hard, sort of shiny plastic. So if you dig the truck aesthetic, I think you're really going to like the cabin of this F-150. It's very rugged and masculine and functional, and I think Ford's done a really solid job blending all of that functionality with creature comforts that are normally reserved for really expensive luxury vehicles. If you've ever gone to configure a truck before, you'll know there are 1,000,001 ways to get your F-150 all the way from a stripped out work truck up to what I'm in now, which is gigantic and very luxurious. So instead today, I'm going to focus on what I'm driving, and that is the Super Crew cab. So that's the biggest cab that you can get, and the 5.5-foot bed. So very popular configuration for the limited edition of this truck. Same can be said for engine options. There are 5 engine options right now, all gasoline powered, although there is a diesel in the works. And you can go all the way from a naturally aspirated 6-cylinder to a big traditional V8 to what I'm in, which is the top of the line 3.5 liter Ecoboost V6. So that's a turbocharged 6-cylinder engine. And it's got 375 horsepower and a very truck-like 470 foot-pounds of torque. And let me tell you, that power comes on like a freight train. This is a fast truck. I've been having a difficult time finding updated 0 to 100 kilometer per hour times for the 2018 model, but good old-fashioned butt dyno tells me maybe somewhere in the 6-second range, which really is hauling the mail in a vehicle that weighs 5,500 pounds. So what's this truck like to drive? Well, if you haven't spent any time in a modern truck of late, I think you'll be pretty surprised at how civilized these things have become. Especially this F-150 limited edition, which has all kinds of crazy luxurious creature comforts. And it is just airy in here and very spacious, and there's such a feeling of isolation from the road. You sit up really high and your visibility is great out of this greenhouse, and I think that's part of the reason why people love trucks and SUVs so much. In terms of handling, yeah, you're not going to win any autocross competitions, but that's okay. This is a 5,500-pound truck. It's meant to be very rugged, very tough to tow and to haul and to work reliably day in, day out for a long time on the job site, and it certainly accomplishes that. For 2018, Ford has dumped their 10-speed automatic transmission into this truck. Yes, 10 speeds. I remember being impressed by 6-speed automatic transmissions, but here we are, 10 speeds, and most of them seem to be calibrated for highway use. For example, I'm on the highway going exactly 100 kilometers per hour now, and I'm in 10th gear. So what that's returning is excellent fuel economy. Now, let's talk a little bit about that because that's a big selling point for Ford, something they really hang their hat on. And that's the fact that this thing is super efficient. So keep in mind, 375 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds of torque. You can tow over 13,000 pounds if you equip it with the towing package. But because this truck is lighter than before, because the engine displacement is smaller than before and smaller than most of its competitors on the market, and because we've got a 10-speed automatic transmission combined with now standard auto stop-start in every F-150, I've returned 14.9 liters per 100 kilometers after some mixed highway with a lot of crummy city driving. Now, for a truck that's as aerodynamic as a brick and weighs 5,500 pounds and can tow 13,000 pounds, that is just straight up impressive. Well, it's that special time of the review where I get to answer the ever important question of how much is this thing going to cost me? And I'm going to get right to it today because it's going to shock you. $77,779. Yes, you heard me correctly. 77 grand for a truck. And what I will say is you can get into an F-150 for somewhere in the mid $20,000 range. That'll give you a solid, basic, dependable truck that's going to last forever. But this is not a basic truck. This has creature comforts and features which you'd kind of expect to see on a luxury car and not a rough and tumble truck. So let's start with just a couple of them to give you a good understanding of why this is such an expensive vehicle. Well, it starts with that 3.5 liter Ecoboost engine up front, 375 horsepower. It'll tow over 13,000 pounds. If you option it with the tow package, which of course this vehicle has, that includes a really handy feature that'll help you back up with a gigantic trailer. It also has trailer blind spot assist, which is not only good for you driving the vehicle, but safer for other people on the road. It's got a tech package, which includes things like active lane departure assist, radar guided cruise control. It also has an emergency stop function, so it'll flash red lights and put the brakes on for you. There's an audible alarm if it feels like you're approaching a stationary object too quickly. Also has a Bang & Olufsen sound system, which sounds great. This interior has a special navy leather seating package. Those are heated seats, those are cooled seats, and those, if you can believe it or not, have a massage function. So yes, you can haul a massive load of dirt while towing a boat, while getting your rear end heated, cooled, depending on the time of year, and massage. So quite a nice place to be. We obviously have Ford's Sync 3 system. We have automatic dual zone climate control. This is a 4x4 vehicle, so we have just along here a manual switch for two-wheel drive and your 4 high and 4 low. Auto stop start. Standard equipment now on every F-150, and we have an automatic parking system. So not just do we have sensors on the front and rear to guide this rather large vehicle into the space, but it'll do it automatically for you. And if you'd rather do it yourself, we have a 360 bird's eye view camera to go along with your standard front and rear facing cameras. So I'm just scratching the surface on some of the features that this truck has to offer to really illuminate how luxurious this vehicle is and start to at least kind of justify the price tag of $77,000. After a week with this F-150 Limited, I've been struck at just how comfortable and civilized the ride is in day-to-day situations. Now, for $80,000, you certainly have an elevated standard for comfort and sophistication, and this F-150 Limited certainly delivers on that front. Now, downsides for me, there's a lot of wind noise and buffeting off of these side mirrors at highway speeds. And on the inside, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of cheap looking plastics that don't really have a place in a vehicle that costs this much money. And finally, the money question. Even with the dealer discounts you know you're gonna get, if you're paying $70,000 plus for a truck, that's very firmly out of the realm of accessible job site truck and more a status symbol. But having said that, this is a super capable vehicle. I think Ford has done a great job blending that outright utility with the power and efficiency of this Ecoboost and the 10-speed transmission with just enough road manners to satisfy the most ardent of city dwellers. For Motormouth Canada, my name is Mike Gurr. Thanks for watching.